So the smartphone cameras are getting a lot better these days, and you can get some pretty amazing shots from it. So for this video I'm going to show you some basic of smartphone photography, and with that being said, let's get started. So for this video I'm gonna show only the basics of smartphone photography. I'm not gonna get into the pro stuff, but if you want to see that, take the poll and let me know, should I start a smartphone photography series. And before starting, let me tell you one thing. There are some rules, or you can say there are some things which can make your photos better. So you don't have to always follow the rules, but you have to know it so you can break it. So the basics are lighting, personal perspective, angle, and subject. So subject is anything you are taking the photo of, which is kind of in the name. So for this video we are taking my Hot Wheels as a subject. Lighting is one of the most important part in the photography. A little bit change in lighting setup can change whole look of the image. For example, this image is without lighting, and this image is just a little bit add of a flash. Second, angle. So I think there are three angles, which is flat, which is above head, straight when the subject and the camera is in line, and the third, the downward look, which is like. But there are many things you can do with the angle, and for that perspective comes into the place. Perspective, a personal perspective is very important in photography. Three photographers can take a photo of single subject but can get three different results just because of their perspective. Everyone have different perspective, and every click will be different from each other unless you copy it. So this was the basic overview of photography. So there are also few basic functions in your smartphone inbuilt nowadays which you can use to make your photography a little bit more better. For example, grid lines. So there is this one rule called rule of thirds, in which it have grid of 3 by 3, which means 9 boxes. You have to place your subject in any of the third section of the pic. In almost all of my pics I use this, but as I said, you don't always have to follow the rules, but you need to know it. So as I said, there are some basic things in the smartphone itself which we can use. As you can see, there is this grid. I was talking about the rule of thirds. Oh, sorry for the mishap. So as you can see, there is this 3 by 3 grid which is called grid, of course. So this rule is called rule of thirds. You can see, if it is not turned on in your smartphone, you can just search in the settings. There it is in the Samsung. You can see there is this function called square and 3 by 3. It will differ from phone to phone. Then you can, we always use auto mode. There is also this pro function which I am not going to talk about now, as I said. Then you can use this function called tap to focus. You can just tap on the subject or anywhere you want and focus it, and after tapping that, you can see also a slider which is brightness setting. You can use this brightness setting to change the whole look of an image. It is also very useful. You can take all of this as a basics for the smartphone photography. There is also this function called HDR, semi HDR, auto HDR, or totally HDR. What it does is take two pics at a time and merge it to show you the best quality image you got at the time. So nowadays, on swiping left or right on a smartphone camera, you can see these filters like which we don't need to use, but unless if you want to. And on the other side we have this whole grid of functions like zoom, panorama, slow motion, etc, etc, and this pro function. And I'm not going to talk about too much on this pro function, but certainly one thing which is macro shots on the pro focus is amazing. You can also use it. If you are a beginner, you don't need to go on a manual focus, but this macro shot is awesome. You can take some detailed zoomed image of anything. So now let's focus on lighting. As I said, you can just take a normal pic in the natural lighting, adjusting the tap to focus or macro shot. But you know, a little bit change of lighting can change the image literally. As you can see, the dramatic mood of the image just changed so quickly.
So let's see how you can create this dramatic scene from just a change of lighting. As I told you already, just tap to focus and you can change the look of image already, but a little bit add of lightning can change the whole mood. And as you can see, I'm not using a great lighting setup or anything. I'm just using a flash and placing it at the angle I want. As I said, it's all about perspective. And your friend may help to hold the flash for you because obviously we don't have four hands, and just tell him where to hold the light and he will hold it for you. I'm sure he's a good friend. Then adjust the angle or the perspective you want, tap to focus, adjust the brightness and take your amazing click. So let's take a scenario that you don't have a friend and you have this awesome thing in front of you, but you want to take a pic and you can't because you need a lightning to help. So if you have a tripod, just place that lightning or a flash on the tripod and turn it on the way and adjust in the way that you want to. As it's adjust, go quickly take the pic and rock the pic. Well, let's take another scenario that if you don't even have a tripod, you can just place a bunch of books and place the lighting or your camera on that.
So guys, this was the basic of the smartphone photography, and take this poll and let me know, do you want a series on smartphone photography? And if you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Comment down below your thoughts and queries or anything about the channel. And if you haven't yet, consider subscribing. And I will see you guys in the next one. See ya.